We are live.
Hello, hello, hello. What's up, guys? People tuning in, people rewatching. How you doing? Long time no see. Had a bit of things to do on a personal level, so I was very busy, so could not do this. Do a lot of things, so I had to limit things a little bit. So but now I'm back to the regular schedule. How's it been, Tony? What's up?
It's been good. I mean, as good as you can, it's been fair. We're alive. So that's what matters. We're good. We're
That's
here.
a very low bar. We're alive.
We're
Fuck,
alive.
man.
We don't have to be
Holy
doing
shit.
much. Yeah, we don't have to be doing much. We're just
We're
as
alive.
long as we're
Jesus.
sitting up straight, then we're good.
All right, I'm glad for that. But anywho, I talked to you about this behind the scenes about this whole tipster and boogie shit, and it's kind of entertaining to like watch this whole fucking debacle happen behind the scenes. Now, if you guys don't know, Boogie is a guy we covered earlier who is a YouTuber that's been on this platform for like since
He's a vet.
like a vet. I would say at least
Yeah.
15 years. Like the guy's been around for a very, very long time. So I'm not 15. I would say safely at least 10 plus over years.
Yeah.
Guy was big because of the cringe weight thing where he would jump in a pool being overweight. People liked him because they thought he was like Mr. Rogers type of deal. Eventually, he started having issues where Mr. Rogers' persona used to drop a little bit, and then and got lower and lower subs, his e-bag and whatnot.
Hey, sleuthing.
What's up? Eventually, what happens is that Boogie gets a documentary. The whole famous documentary where he claims that he spent $250,000 on prostitutes.
We do have a video down below titled "So Boogie." It's very interesting. We did watch the documentary and we're kind of like, oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like,
so Boogie is basically a gamer. He's the main thing, and he makes a video talking about Sweet Baby, which, to sum it up, it is a company that is hired as an advisor to major companies to basically write storylines that are left leaning. That will, like, for instance, have a main female character.
Did they do that game? That game that came. Let me give you details.
Which game?
That game that came out that really bombed. Like it looked really good.
It did Suicide Squad.
Okay, that sucked. Apparently, I've seen people that sucked big time.
So I'm gonna share my screen. So this is Boogie, and basically this company called Sweet Baby is hired, kind of forces their way into companies to basically push a propaganda to to the game, changing the storyline. So Boogie makes this video called "Gamersgate of 2 is officiated," and he's if you don't know, Gamergate 1 was basically a kind of a consumer rebellion against game companies pushing their agenda. And this one is basically kind of against Sweet Baby and companies like that kind of force their way into big games and
they rewrite. Mind you, there's
rewrite.
Yeah. Just to simplify it, games that are already made, like God of War and stuff.
Yeah.
This company comes in and tries to put like a left-wing twist on things and rewrite the story, which I do not agree with. That's horrible.
Yeah. So Boogie goes through this thing. He says, founded in 2008, Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development consultation studio based on Montreal, working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. Now, what you might not know that makes this a little bit more diabolical is, let me see.
It's such a wholesome website. And
then
when you see the games that they make, you're like, it looks like Baby Shark.
Yeah, it does look like Baby Shark. Let me see. Let me just play this a little bit.
Yeah.
A narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Their mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. They aim to make more games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. Spoiler alert, they mostly failed to do so. Now,
that is very true. Now, what I was basically saying was that Sweet Baby Inc. Is kind of backed by an ESG company. And if you don't know what an ESG company is, it's basically like a group of stocks that are put into a type of index whereby a female CEO, or they do solar panels and shit like that. And the problem is that the company sponsoring it is BlackRock, a major investing company. So I'm reading this thing, just gives a summary of a good summary of this, and this is from Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. I figure this would be a good time as any, now that Sweet Baby is an extremely reluctant household name. Bizarre creative choices that seem hostile to companies, customers, base might seem like they're the product of increasingly weird. Okay, so it says okay, so major investing firms like BlackRock loan out literal trillions of dollars. You can imagine what is now to companies who have significant amounts of cultural impact and extremely low interest rates. It might, so it's basically like the BlackRock funds these companies, and then basically Sweet Baby is one of the companies that gets the money from one of these companies that is funded by BlackRock and ESG, and basically pushes go into a game company and rewrites the story. So it's a little weird that you have a major investing company that is basically investing into a video game company to push story-driven, like a story and propaganda. But yeah.
Right here on their website, you'll see a list of games that they have worked on. And this is important later, so take a big note. You'll see that some of these games have been too big to fail. God of War Ragnarok, sequel to the original God of War. Alan Wake 2, sequel to the original Alan Wake. Spider-Man 2, too big to fail. And some other games.
God of War of all games.
Yeah.
That's where it gets me. It's God of fucking War. Like, I'm all down for people in video games, movies, and TV shows to have their own spot. But rewriting, that's a different thing. I don't want to rewrite history. I want to, write the future. I don't understand this logic.
So that was a little bit showing the games that they were doing, and here is basically the CEO.
Bloom over 100K, now 250K people on that list supporting this cause. And as people dug around, they found this, the co-founder of Sweet Baby Incorporated, basically saying that they bully people into putting this type of stuff in their games. Here, I'll let her speak for herself.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for, when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
I don't think it's ever a good look.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
No bueno.
So, I mean, basically, so you got this consulting firm kind of forcing their way into video games. Boogie summarizes it that he just wants video games to be fun. He doesn't want a political message or any sort of message being pushed into it. And I would have the same opinion if this was like a right-leaning group or whatever, because I feel like video games should not be like forced politics into it. No. You know what I mean?
It should have its own in-game politics, like Skyrim. I don't care if the dwarves and the goblins are fighting. Yeah, story. Nothing too. I don't want a video game to hit too close to home.
And you have kids playing this, and then you're kind of forcing an agenda on kids, and you're kind of and to me. So for this very leveled response, where he's just basically going through Sweet Baby, and he gets his opinion, except for this look.
Shot the gamer.
That should have been left on there, by the way.
He does look like he lost weight. No.
Yeah, he's losing a little weight. This very leveled response, him basically discussing about it, discussing about the situation with Gamergate 2, where people getting very angry because what happened was eventually a Steam group was created to kind of track all the companies Sweet Baby is working for, basically. And they try to ban that account, and he talks about that. Eventually, Tipster, an individual who is, let me get a picture of Mr. Tipster. 1
Oh
second.
God. I will say this: companies doing this only makes the right-wing agenda have a point about
Well, I mean,
pushing
they're
stuff.
all they
You get
have
what I'm
like
saying?
I mean, like a lot of times in the right wing agenda, they are just like, oh my God, they're trying to push this stuff to our kids, and then you find out that they literally
Kind
have
of
a
are.
kind of are have
Yeah,
a company
they
hired.
kind of are. See, that's why I'm in the middle of things. Like, no, like I don't want to just if you have a story, kind of like we were talking about cyberpunk. Remember,
Yeah.
if cyberpunk, if there's a gay character, there's a gay character. That's how the story was written.
So
Don't go
this,
back into video games and rewrite and put in gay characters. That's stupid. Don't do that.
yeah. And this is Tipster here. Now, Mr. Tipster had an earlier controversy defending an individual name. I mean, he's defended Lolicon in the past, and if you don't know, thank God. But unfortunately, I'm going to ruin your day by basically telling you what Lolicon is. Lolicon.
Oh yeah, I was watching that before
Lolicon.
you came in.
Basically, it's a set of cartoons of little girls, Japanese little girl cartoons that are a lot of times depicted in sexual matters. And it's not illegal because it's cartoons, apparently, anime or something like that.
It's gross. I fucking hate
And apparently, he was defending this earlier on a year ago. And then recently, he defended again when he was defending his good friend Vosh. Now, if you don't know who Mr. Vosh is, and I'll show you a picture of Mr. Vosh in a moment. I'm just giving you all the background and story so you get a general idea of the thing. So we'll get to the general beef with the two of them. Okay, so this is Mr. Vosh here. Mr. Vosh, and that's not his real name, obviously. This is just his persona on YouTube, is a big left-wing YouTuber that basically pushes communist ideas and has some really fucked up takes. But what recently happened was he accidentally showed his
oh yeah, I remember this. Yep.
Yeah, his unsorted folder, which showed a bunch of lolicon and horse penises, and horses having sex with little girls in cartoons. And he's been on Discord claiming that he wants to be a horse because he wants to have a giant horse penis.
Okay, so now he's making anime look bad, but also furries.
Yeah, pretty bad. So he gets this found out. Tipster is defending him for some reason. Defends this man. Yeah. And this is some of the takes, Mr. This is just a minute clip. Obviously, this is edited by Rev Seb, so it's just a clip channel, but there's going to be some things going to be said. But this is his thought process on the age of consent and little girl and some other things.
All of the things that I didn't like about Gurren Lagann, which is an anime that was incredibly good, and I like it generally, but here are the things that I didn't like about it, okay? First of all, Yoko was 14 in the beginning of the series, and they fan service the f*** her, and I think that's disgusting, okay?
Now, you would think... Now, this is from his Discord. The way I see it, the age of consent exists out of respect for the numerous power imbalances older people have over younger people. As those imbalances, or at least some of them, are redressed through advent of socialism, the age of consent should therefore be, and he misspelled therefore, be lowered.
I hate people. Sometimes I even wonder why I go outside.
So he wants to lower the age of consent of children so that adults can sleep with them. Now, this is another take if he had.
Offended child pornography. Do you want to run down that argument?
When have I ever acted out of consequence? Like, when have I ever been like, oh, actually, I'm going deontological on this? I literally defended fucking buying child porn.
No, but I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography.
Also, the fact that they use the time skip version of Yoko, who's 21 years old, to post in the thumbnail is just the cherry on top.
So, this is the individual Tipster is defending. An individual that wants to change the age of consent of children so that adults can sleep with them, and also defended child pornography, has a folder of cartoon little girls having sex with horses in his computer, and has gone on to say horrible things. So Tipster defends this guy, but goes after Boogie, who basically has an opinion about Gamergate and all that, and calls him a Nazi. So let's
he's probably trying to find relevance again because he fucked up. You
So
can't
here,
defend that shit. Yeah. Go ahead.
and Vosh is not a small YouTuber, by the way. He is a person that gets
Didn't you fail as a gaming?
sorry about that. Who gets
You're
an
good.
incredible amount of views. Incredible amounts of views. Actually, he has, I think he has, I mean, let me just see exactly how many subs this man has. I know he has hundreds of thousands of subs. Vosh. Vosh has about 450,000 people subscribe to him, and
Oh
he
my
gets
God.
on his lives. He usually gets, you know, a good amount of videos. He does. He gets about 12, sometimes 100,000 views a video.
And
So
these
this
are
is not a
people who
small,
have the same mentality as him.
well, they're leftist. I don't think they have the same mentality of wanting underage children and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it's a leftist channel. So Tipster defends this Vosh, this person who's defending this disgusting behavior. And hello, Huffer, by the way. And eventually what happens is that this is just the tweet that he tweets after Boogie's video about Gamergate. And this thing says here, says, this is Tipster on, formerly known as Twitter, now X, horribly named X. Boogie 2988 becoming the Quartering. Now, if you don't know who the Quartering is, he is a right-wing gamer, kind of like just reacts to gaming news and other political like things in the news, basically. Not my cup of tea, but whatever. Boogie 2988 becoming the Quartering ripoff wasn't on my 2024 bingo card.
Right.
But it should have been. He's lost a lot of relevancy in our recent years, and his bank account is looking rather empty these days. And being the lovable Mr. Rogers character of the internet wasn't working anymore because people got a chance to see behind the current and get a good look. Curtain. Sorry, it says curtain. Yeah, curtain.
He probably spelled it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like current, but I think, yeah, that doesn't look like curtain. Get behind the curtain and get good look. What the fuck with these people that can't fucking spell? And get a good look at what the real Boogie 2988 is like. And surprise, surprise, they didn't like it. Not to mention the fact that the anti-woke grift is extremely profitable. I would deny that. If you try to go on right-leaning channels now, you probably get banned from YouTube. Congratulations. You definitely will get banned if you're an extreme right-winger. And because YouTube does not like extreme politics a lot of times. They want kind of ad-friendly, you know, people that are not going to curse or say things. I mean, they'll stop you from, you know, if you say like the unliving thing too much, they'll shut down your channel for that program. I was there. They do that. And I can imagine seeing folks like the Quartering and Mac racking mountains of cash on the grift looks rather appealing to a has-been with a career on life support whose only current claim to fame is being the co-host podcast hosted by Keemstar, where you are literally there just for the purpose of being mocked by everyone on the internet for being a lol cow. But hey, anything for a quick buck and a taste of clout. Oh, Boogie, even if it means siding with some of the worst people on the internet, glad to know that all the kind words and encouraging messages you've tried to deliver in your video in the past didn't mean shit, and that it was all just a facade to try to convince everyone that you're somehow the good guy of the internet.
The fucking drama.
I hope, for your sake, that the grift is worth it. Boogie. All right. That seemed a little overreaction to a video. He is defending a man who wants to lower the age of consent of children so adults can sleep with them, and loves and fantasizes about horses sleeping with little children. But this guy defending Gamergate is a fucking bridge too far for this guy. So Boogie, in a surprise take, this might be the redemption arc for Boogie, does a reply to this man. The most, I would have to say, it might be the greatest reply in 2024. Did you read the reply?
I didn't read the reply. I was watching a lot of the videos, and I don't like either of these people, but I'm siding with Boogie.
So this is just reply to that ridiculous tweet that Tipster did. Tipster.
I watched the reply, by the way.
Yeah. Well, no, that was the video. This is the tweet that came before the video.
Oh, okay, okay.
Tipster, glad to see you stop defending Vosh and his lolly porn. And by the way, let me drop the link to this video just in case because this is Origin. So I'm reading it because it makes it easier, because obviously. But here's a link to the video just in case you want to watch it. Tipster, glad to see you stop defending Vosh and his lolly porn and horse R fantasies long enough to type this. But
oh my god.
But no, unlike you, a person who got ejected from the commentary community to go fly false rainbow flags, I'm no grifter. You are a perfect example of the type of person whose politics should stay far away from video games. I don't want you and your pee shit anywhere near them. Politely go fuck yourself.
He did say politely. I mean,
amazing reply from Mr. Boogie. I thought that was an amazing reply, and
Mugian. Oh my god. I watch his stuff. He's good.
Yeah. Then he replies, Mr. Tipster replies, "Who ghost wrote this tweet for you, Boogie?"
Oh jeez. It's a Twitter war, y'all.
It's a Twitter war. I mean, an Xer war. I don't even know what you call it now. Who ghost wrote this tweet for you, Boogie? Because we both know the spineless coward like you didn't do it. Let me remind everyone what your original response to me was. Oh, and you want to talk about P? Aren't you the guy who recently literally shared a table with an actual P to chow down on Doritos and Mountain Dew? What did EDP, and I'm not going to completely go with it, because, by the way, EDP was banned from this platform because he attempted to solicit a little girl to sleep with by giving her cupcakes.
Yeah.
And he was caught on a video. And yeah, I believe what is happening is Boogie was hired by the same guy that did the documentary on him to basically be there to yell at this guy, kind of be the interviewer of this guy while the documentary is done on EDP. And I've heard that it's going to be pretty bad for Mr. EDP. It's going to put a fucking huge spotlight on him, and it's not going to be good for him. And I don't,
He asked for it, though.
He asked for it. I have no sympathy for people like that, honestly. Unfortunately, the law could not arrest him. But, maybe this will stop people from people being around him. So that's who EDP is. So just so you know. What did EDP get caught doing again? Oh, yeah, trying to meet a 13-year-old for sex. You keep good company, Boogie. Breaking bread with a P and siding with literal Nazis and bigots and Gamergate, which is darn, Boogie, you sure have changed. Let's hope being on the right side of history this time around goes well for you. And that's all. Those friendly Gamergaters don't chew you up and spit you out the way Anita Sarkeesian did and had you crying like a little bitch at VidCon. Because we all know the anti-woke grifters won't turn on you the moment they realize how pathetic you really are.
It's just, he's in the wrong and he's grasping for everything to be right. If anything, he's giving Boogie back the 5 minutes of fame and making him look good. You're giving Boogie content. He doesn't really have to do anything.
Then Mr. Boogie replies to that. I got paid by Mike Klum to go scream at P's he is exposing. When someone exposes your ass, though, I will do it for free.
Right? Right?
Wow, Boogie, wow. I feel like this is the redemption arc for Boogie. Boogie, is this a redemption
That's what I'm
arc?
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is like a whole, like, this is his new wave. This is his wave.
Oh my god, that was the best comeback I've ever heard. Who is
Exactly.
Keemstar? I can't imagine Keemstar because I think Keemstar is dyslexic, so he can't really write too well.
No.
So I can't
Savvy
imagine.
businessman, though.
Yeah, he is a savvy businessman. Okay, let me read it. Continue. And yeah, I blocked you because you disgust me. It's one thing to yell at peas. It's a whole other one to be you and jerk off to drawings of literal children. When I'm done
Ooh.
putting you in your place, I will likely block you again. Oh my God. And no one wrote my tweets for me. I have a ton of friends who would. The only friend you have left, Keffels. But wait, didn't she throw you under the bus for defending Fosh? Great friend. LOL. But I don't need help to destroy someone as pathetic and disgusting as you. You called me a grifter? Well, you know, Boogie, if the shoe fits. I'm going to agree with him. You are kind of a grifter, but just friend like that. Didn't you fail as gaming creator to join the commentary community? Then fail at that to grift the Rainbow Coalition? This coming from a guy who went from sexually harassing girls to now sexually harassing trans girls? Jesus Christ. Wow. I didn't know about anything about the allegations of the trans girls. I heard about the Discord thing, but I never heard of the allegations like that. Genuinely and wholeheartedly, I hope you choose to chemically castrate.
Castrate.
Oh my God. This is so brutal.
I mean, if you're gonna be a chomo and act like a chomo, I hope you castrate yourself.
This is so brutal. Genuinely and wholeheartedly, I hope you choose to chemically castrate yourself rather than defend peace and before you actually hurt someone, you disgusting fuck. So, I mean, this is going on, and it's quite amazing.
I mean, I think this is gonna be if Boogie plays this right. I definitely think this is going to be a literal comeback for him if he plays this right. So far, he's not fucking up.
Child porn. They don't want to have.
So here is the next thing. He makes a video because Tipster makes the dumbest reply I've ever seen in my goddamn life, which was basically grabbing a picture. I mean, like, can I find actually? Did that video I had on previously have the response? Let me see. Okay. Actually, let me go back to Mr. Amigon's video. This was the response to Boogie's tweets.
Did you fail as a gaming?
This was the failed response by Mr. Tipster. He grabbed a picture from 2013 and did this. Mind you, I think Tipster is in his 30s, late 30s, and this was the best comeback after that tweet.
And you know, last time this Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I feel like I was on the wrong side of history. I was just kind of a bit of a fence sitter last time, and so this time, I want to make sure I'm on the right side of history. You know, last time that big meanie Anita Sarkeesian was so mean to me at VidCon, and I didn't like that very much, so this time, I'm going to side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that.
That was a...
Yes, that was his response, Tipster's response to Boogie.
It was lame.
It's pretty fucking lame.
You should feel bad. Like
that was so lame. I think we might end the stream. But anyway, the guy, mind you, I would say in defense of Boogie, Boogie's at least dating another woman, might be getting married again. Has a successful podcast with Love Cow, has a house, literally has a mansion almost paid for, and has all these things. Anita Sarkeesian had to do a 40th birthday where everyone pretended that she was getting married, and she married herself in a wedding. Let that sink in. Tony's like,
I'm just so out of it. It's common, like he supports. I can't believe his wife hasn't left him yet.
Who's
Tipster?
I don't even know if he's married.
I think he's married or he has a long-term girlfriend. I think he's married because there was the whole big booty goth girl things that were going on. Do you know that one?
The big booty
that
goth
happened?
girls?
It happened about like 8 months ago. Turkey Tom was talking about it. That was the video I was watching before here, and apparently he was flirting with this goth girl that Tipster calls e-girls goth girls.
Okay.
Which makes no sense to Tipster, though, mind you.
Yes.
Makes no sense to me. But there was he did say I have a wife. So I'm going off of what he said.
So he was trying to come on to big booty goth girls online.
Well, one that was of age, mind you.
Okay,
and it kind of backfired on him. But that's not a part of this. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, Tipster he's shady.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, yeah. So this is Boogie's response to Tipster on that ridiculous video that he did, and him reading tweets and being boring. We could watch Tipster's response, but I don't want to make you fall asleep because Tipster's response to after that little thing was boring. It was horrible. But let's listen to Boogie's response. It's a lot more entertaining. So this is Boogie's original response.
I decided to have a little fun on Twitter with this tweet here. And a lot of people have asked me, do I stand by this tweet?
This tweet he did, hot take, video games are supposed to be fun, not lectures about why being a white man is bad. Look at that. How many views? Tony, what does that say?
Oh, right there. 20. Is that 35? That's so small. Is that 35 million?
Yes. 35 million people watch this. For Boogie.
He's getting, I'm telling you, this is Tipster basically gave him content.
35 million people. Holy fuck.
And the answer is yes. Video games should be fun. They shouldn't be political lectures of pretty much any type. And whereas almost any sane person should agree with this tweet, a lot of people got hung up with the last couple of words. And most of the replies were just a good time, except replies from one person, and that is Tipster. And that sucks because I normally abide by the fat guy code where fat guys tend to leave other fat guys alone if we can. But Tipster drew first blood.
As a fat guy, that code is real. I'm just saying that code is real.
They drew first blood, not me.
Tipster saw my video talking about Sweet BB Incorporated and decided to post some clips from it, basically saying that I was now on the alt-right grift.
That always gets me annoyed where people just call people in Gamergate like Nazis. Like, it really waters down what a Nazi is. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about people in history that genocided a couple of groups of people in history and resulted in a lot of people dying. And then you're basically calling a bunch of people that just say, well, I just don't really want politics in my video game. I just want a good storyline. And you call them Nazis. It's like, you're kind of watering down the meaning of the word. I feel like those people who say those like misinterpretations should like actually visit like historical places in World War II, those concentration camps, and actually walk through and realize the horrors of such a thing, like how horrible it was. And they just don't understand how horrible Nazis are, and they just water it down. It's very disrespectful to the victims of the Nazi party and how disgusting those individuals were. And there are some people who are Nazis to this day and who are legitimately Nazis, like I would say like Fuentes. Like Fuentes is definitely a Nazi in my opinion. He is a weirdo Nazi, and there's a group of them. Yeah, that guy is.
And I wonder why someone like Tipster would think that of me. Well, it's classic projection. And if you watch this video by Turkey Tom, which I'm going to highlight chunks of here, but also link it down below, you'll get an idea of the type of person that Tipster is. Specifically, Tipster is someone who tried to be a video game YouTuber and failed at that, then joined the commentary community and got kicked out of that community. So now instead he grifts the Rainbow Coalition and is also failing to do that. Now, the reason I'm making this video is to talk about this live stream where Tipster had to go live last night for 45 minutes to talk about what an anti-woke grifter he thinks I've become. Spoiler alert, I'm no grifter. I just think sometimes it's right.
I mean, I don't think he's a grifter in this scenario. But he has grifted in the past.
He does, I was about to say he does. Yeah, but in this scenario, no. Yeah.
In this scenario, I don't think he's grifting. I think he legitimately cares about video games. I think he's played video games. I mean, I'll look at his fucking background. I think this is a guy who loves video games, and doesn't want to see storylines to basically be destroyed because of money and agendas and stuff like that. And I feel like there's a lot of money is being poured into creating an agenda. And I don't agree with that. I think storylines should just stay as they are. I don't think, these are things service to children. And I don't think a creepy corporation like BlackRock should be fucking affecting storylines for kids. I just think that's very fucked up. I wouldn't be good for the left, and I'm not good for it for the right. I just don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Kids should get video games, and I know you see adults play, but a lot of kids play these games, and I don't think kids should be brainwashed or tricked or whatnot by corporations. That's just not my opinion.
No, let kids be kids, because kids are growing up really fast these days. Let them enjoy there's ignorance and bliss. That's what kids need. They don't need to be exposed to the politics of this side, that side. It's just too much. Let them just enjoy the game. This is why my nephew plays Nintendo and like Mario or Pokemon or stuff like that, because it's not brainwashable. It's not like he's playing Dishonored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To call out bad people for doing bad things. And if I'm in the company of people like Asmongold while I'm doing it, I feel pretty comfortable doing it. So I just wanted to highlight some of the things that Tipster had to say in this live stream and give my opinion.
So he's saying like Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. He's saying these games were too big to fail. But then he's talking about how...
Yes, those games are too big to fail. God of War, yes. Alan Wake, you know how many years people have been waiting for an Alan Wake 2? A long fucking time.
Like 10 or 11 years. It's a big deal.
Spider-Man, after the Spider-Man 1, yes, that's a very big game. Notice these other games no one fucking ever heard of, probably they failed.
How like Suicide Squad was a stinker, which...
Yeah, Suicide Squad was a terrible game. The storyline was terrible. The fact that you had fucking Harley Quinn able to fucking beat Batman and Superman died from the fucking Suicide Squad, a guy who throws boomerangs, is laughable and fucking stupid. And the whole storyline was stupid. And
Didn't they make the shark bisexual?
Yes, they made the shark bisexual. I don't even know how
I can't be too. Well, that's the thing. I can't be too upset because it's a fucking shark.
Wow, I don't even know where the shark's penis is. I don't even know what the fuck the shark uses.
We do not know the mating rituals of sharks.
Yeah, I do not know the mating rituals of hybrid shark people.
Actually, I hear it is a pretty bad game.
I don't know, Tipster. What do you think Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and God of War 2 have in common? It's the number 2. Those video games are sequels to very well-loved games that had very little politics in them and a shitload of fun. The industry knows that's a really good time to shove politics down your throat.
Last of Us, yeah, that was disappointment to some people. I mean, like, I think that game, I've heard the criticism where, like, you played that game, right?
Which one?
The Last of Us 2, Part 2.
I haven't played Part 2, but I've seen people play it, and I know it's a very
controversial game.
I don't think it's controversial. It's just gay, and I mean gay not in any stupid way. I mean, it's about her. It's about somebody finding themselves and being attracted to another person that just so happens to be the same sex.
I didn't like it because the fact is you murdered like a key character, and they kind of dumbed down the key character in the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah.
To me, that just seemed very disrespectful to a character that people grew accustomed to. And I also thought I hate games where they split like two characters you play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like to keep it to one character, and I don't like okay, we're done with this part, now play the other half. You know what I mean? Now you can play their half and see what they were doing. And to me, it's just so immersion breaking to me to do stuff like that. That's why I didn't like the game. And then playing the person that you just brutally murdered, your favorite main character in the first game, is kind of like, do I really want to play this character?
Yeah. So it wasn't the actual details on why most people were upset about the game. It was you have legitimate reasons. It's not because I don't like lesbians. It
wasn't that. I just didn't like the immersion. I never liked those types of games. I like to stick to one character, and I don't want to really play a character that just murdered the main character of a game in the beginning. It's just not something to do. Like, there's good ways of doing it. Like, I remember the game. You remember the game? I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember now. It's like it's made by Bethesda. Let me see. Let me think. I can't think of it. Bethesda game steampunk. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Trying to think of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dishonored. Yeah, Dishonored did it better.
Dishonored was amazing. That's one
Like,
Dishonored and BioShock, those games.
Yeah.
Chef's
So
kiss.
Dishonored 2 allowed you to pick one character from the beginning and play the other one if you wanted to, and you could just
Elizabeth.
like do like, or you could do like a new gameplay or stuff like that. But I hate like you're in the middle of the game and doing that. Like, I want to, like, if you want to play a second playthrough, by all means do that. But like, I just don't think it's a good idea how they did it.
Throats because you're going to buy it anyway. So it's a good time to get you to sit down and listen to a lecture.
This is literally just about being treated poorly by Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon. So he was speaking out against like Gamergaters at the time, right? And now he's decided he wants to join them.
I don't know. I always felt I beat Anita Sarkeesian there because I got invited back to VidCon the next year and she didn't. Also, I'm dating my dream girl and Anita just celebrated her birthday.
Oh my God. I did not get married. I did not have a wedding-themed birthday. I did have a wedding-themed birthday in Stockholm this summer. It was goofy and silly fun. We had a bachelor party, rehearsal dinner, ceremony, reception, all in one. People dressed up in the best costumes, from brides, divorce lawyers, drunk uncle, and a ring bearer. Massive thanks to everyone who helped me pull it off, which was a lot of people. Everyone who traveled from different continents and countries to party with me. Oh my God, that is sad, actually. Pretty sad. Would you have a wedding themed birthday party?
I mean, no. No. My humor is not in that.
Like, I wouldn't
mind a wedding themed divorce party where it's like a funeral. You have to wear funeral colors. That's fun. I should be a party.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even celebrate. Like, I think, like, I don't even celebrate my birthday anymore. It's like, at a certain age, it's just like, who gives a fuck? It's like, oh, yeah, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70. Who gives a fuck? Congratulations. Once you turned 18, in my opinion, the gifts are gone. I mean, like, you gotta deal with real life now. But to me, like, I always find like 40-year-olds like literally celebrating and having birthday
over the
parties
hill.
Is kind of crazy to me, unless it's for your kids or something, like your kids are doing it or something like that. But you're a grown-ass adult. Like, this is for children. So, like, for a 40-year-old woman to be like doing this is like childish, in my opinion. So my opinion is already very low about birthday parties. I know I'm going to get some disagreements here and there from people, but that's just my opinion.
If you enjoy parties, do parties.
Yeah, but you know what? You're an adult. You could do a party every fucking day if you wanted to.
Yeah. You're an adult. You can eat cake whenever you want.
You can literally eat cake every day. Well, you know, you might get diabetes, but you know what I mean? Like,
you get the sugars. Yeah.
You get the sugars.
A fake wedding. So I feel like I'm winning. And no, that panel wasn't about Gamergate. It was about online harassment, which can come from people on the right or the left or even the middle. And if Gamergate 2.0 comes...
Yes, and what Tipster doesn't want to know, because I remember I seen that video by him, was that it was basically talking about online harassment, and Anita Sarkeesian was being online harassed, and that's very true. But so was Boogie, and they were at a panel, and then Anita Sarkeesian kind of fucking verbally attacked him behind the stage and treated him like a piece of shit. I remember that. I remember that.
Comes out to being some sort of harassment campaign, I will distance myself from the harassment, but I'll still say the video games are supposed to be fun. Liking fun video games and thinking they shouldn't be taken over by identity politics isn't harassment. You have to be an extra kind of stupid to think that I'm aligning myself with terrorists just because I'm sharing that opinion.
Hey guys, it's me, Francis. And you know what?
Look at this motherfucking smirk on this guy's face. Like, he thinks this is hilarious. Like, bro, this is cringe. Like, cringe. What do you think?
the whole thing, like, it's really the whole thing is just third party embarrassment.
Fucking yeah.
This time this Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I'm gonna side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that because they seem to think I'm a really cool guy.
I don't even know where to start with that, other than the fact that he genuinely thought he was doing something there, and it's really great that he's that stupid. It is nice to see him just admitting that he thinks that if you like fun video games and you don't want to be pandered to in those games, that you are a racist and a Nazi. And it's awesome to see him own that.
Anybody who knows me in my audience knows that I do not overuse terms like, racists and Nazis.
Racists and the Nazis.
And by now, you all know.
He just called them racists and the Nazis. Okay. Question. I have a question for you, Tony. Do you think being concerned about a multi-billion-dollar corporate investment firm that basically is a shadow funding consulting agencies to push rewriting stories for children is concerning?
It's very concerning.
So
on both sides, no matter what your political agenda is, on both sides, it's very concerning.
Oh, okay, good. That's good to know. And when did you become a Nazi? That's my next question.
I guess just now.
I guess you just became a Nazi and a racist, according to Tipster.
So these are just buzzwords they use when they don't have a valid argument against the fact that video games should be fun. These people just do not understand that video games for us is a form of escapism to escape real world politics. And we're not here to pay $70 to be lectured to.
When I was showing my quote tweet, right? That's because Boogie couldn't handle my criticism. He couldn't handle the fact that I'm right.
Tipster, I block everybody on Twitter almost for no reason. People seem to like it when I do it. They wear it as like a badge of honor. Oh, look, Boogie blocked me. And also, I don't have to deal with their bullshit. But Tipster, that's not why I blocked you. I blocked you because you were a disgusting, depraved human being. It was just last month that you were defending drawn photos of child pornography, and that just irks me in the worst way humanly possible. Your only online friend left is Keffels, and she threw you under the bus because you were defending child pornography. I may not be Mr. Rogers, but at least I don't have a history of both harassing online e-girls as well as online trans women. You call me a grifter because I broke my silence on this whole video game topic.
Yeah, I agree with him with that one. I can't believe Tipster actually defended fucking that shit, man. Like, Vosh is a disgusting human being, and then he goes at this guy for fucking his tweet about Gamergate 2. Just makes no motherfucking sense to me. By the way, I would also state this, that I think like a lot of AAA games who kind of accept this script writing are losing a lot of shares to indie games. And there's a lot of good indie games that are just way cheaper. You can get them for $20-$30, and they have more content and they're fun. They're a lot more fun, and it's because they're not constrained by large budgets and consulting firms and and ripping you off. I mean, did you hear about the whole controversy, Tony, with the fucking Dragon Dogma 2?
No.
The motherfucking game doesn't have a new game. Like, doesn't have, like, you can only have one character.
So, wait, what do you mean? Like, so you can only make one save file?
Yes, and you can't even hit new game to make another save file.
Why would they limit that? Isn't that just basic gaming 101 that you
they're selling microtransactions as fucking like, you can't change your face? Pay $2 to be able to change your face to look like differently.
Of
or
course
pay
they did.
$2.
They're doing what Diablo did.
Yeah. So you got games like that. Billion-dollar corporation doing this, making this game cost probably hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're just fucking flailing. Their storyline is not that great, and the mechanics sucks. And then you got an indie game that doesn't have to do all this shit, and they're doing better. It's just simple as that.
You're the one who left the commentary community to go fleece the LGBTQ. You want to warn me about aligning myself with the right. Well, you know what? That's not something I plan to do. I just want to align myself with people who like video games, and there's plenty of people on the left that do that. But you're choosing to ally yourself with the left and only the left, excluding anybody that happens to be in the middle or the right. And that's a really bad plan for you. The reason you're failing at everything you're trying to do right now is because you're trying to appeal to the left, but you're such a vile, disgusting person that even they don't want to have anything to do with you. Regurgitate.
Agreed. People on the left do not want to have anything to do with people who think little girls want to see little drawings of little girls having sex with adults, and they don't want to see little girls having sex with horses. People on the left do not want that. It's disgusting. Honestly, I think majority, like 90, like probably, let's say 99.9% of them would probably want to see you in jail. And
Yeah.
the 0.1% is sus. Those people probably are in the same field with you. But like,
I want to check their internet history.
yeah, like honestly, mostly the left does not want to have anything to do with the fucking child pornography and shit like that.
Stating the left's talking points can only get you so far. And when somebody on the left finds out that you harass women or defend child porn, they don't want to have anything to do with you. I'm not here to talk about the left or the right or anything in the middle. I'm just talking about video games and people being informed whether or not a certain company worked on it so they can choose whether or not to spend their hard-earned money on that. And why is that difficult for you to understand? Because, Tipster, it's exactly people like you that I'm trying to avoid when it comes to video games. People who preach tolerance in one hand and attack everyone they can on the other. People defending child pornography. People harassing women. You are the exact kind of person I play video games to get the hell away from, and I don't want your politics in my video games. And that should be okay, I think. I'm not trying to appeal to the right or Nazis or any of that shit. I'm just speaking what I believe to be true. The video game should be fun. And I think it's so sad and sick that you can't see that. I don't have problems with anybody on.
What's your thoughts so far?
I agree with them 100%. Most people who play video games, like these, gamers, they don't want, they're trying to escape real life by having some fun, blowing off some steam. But how can you do that when there's so many political agendas in the game that are real life? Like there's a lot of games out there that have political agendas that are story driven for that game, like BioShock. BioShock is probably the best example out of all video games about political decisions and, politics and stuff like that. But they do it in a very classy way.
Very true.
The left or the right, as long as they're not extremists. And if you're an extremist, you can go fuck yourself. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to appeal to anybody other than the fact that some people like video games and some people want them to remain fun and some people don't want motherfuckers fucking with that. And if you're an extremist, go fuck yourself. And if you're not an extremist, well, you can come join that. And let's play some video games together. Helldivers 2 is pretty good. And the new Final Fantasy has been really great so far. So, Tipster, now I'm done with you. And I'm going to go back to blocking you because I don't want you accidentally retweeting lolly porn onto my timeline because you've done that.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm just calling him out.
He's like, bro. I mean, it's just fucking nuts, man. Let me see.
Done that, and I don't want to see it. I rarely choose to make videos like this. I rarely choose to respond. And when I do, I always try to keep some decorum, but you deserve none of it. You are down to the last shred of internet dignity that you had left, and that person's name was Keffels, and even she can't stand you anymore. I'm done with you too.
Yeah, so that was his response. And then accordingly, he goes on to his show called the Lulcow Live Podcast, to be exact. Now, if you don't know, basically, Keemstar.
Like, what do you
Keemstar basically created a show having Wings of Redemption, Boogie, and Tommy C. Now, Wings is kind of they're all lolcows. Like these two are lolcows, and basically, but so this is his response to. Okay, so this is when he comes on after he gives the intro to all that.
Name on YouTube. You search Tipster. It doesn't show his channel anymore. It only shows Nick.
So
you see
heard around the world.
Apparently, I bodied him so hard they shadow banned him on YouTube. Did you see this?
Oh
This
my
is great.
God, yeah.
Yeah, if you search for his name on YouTube, you search Tipster, it doesn't show his channel anymore. It only shows takedown videos.
Is that actually true? Let me see Tipster.
I think it is because didn't he try to contact a YouTube? he tried to contact YouTube. I think you even talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think now it's fixed because you can actually find Tipster's recent videos. But yeah, there's a lot of not so great flattering videos on him.
You put out this tweet, you get 38 million fucking views. What are your thoughts going on?
I've been watching a lot of different content creators since this whole Sweet Baby Incorporated thing cropped up. But we literally have on record, the founder of Sweet Baby Incorporated saying that she bullies companies into hiring them. You literally, yeah. And so, long story short, I knew what I was doing when I typed out video games are supposed to be fun, not lectures about white men. Any sane human being should be able to agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Video games are supposed to be fun. Video games are supposed to be fun. Video games are supposed to be fun.
Well,
one of the things they're not supposed to be is a lecture. Go ahead.
When you
Absolutely. What do you think of that?
I agree. Games are supposed to be fun. It's just I'm just keep repeating myself. People who play video games do it to avoid real life. It's not so much to avoid, but just to, put your brain on pause and you're not watching, CNN or Fox or anything like that. It's just for you to be there and I don't know, kill a couple mutants or
kill a couple mutants. Jesus Christ.
I'm thinking of just for you to just have fun. Turn it off. That's it.
Louise. All right.
Buy a video game, you want that video game to be by the game studio. You don't want some political activists going in there and forcing their political opinions into the video game.
And again, a lot of people.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, you have a lot of video games, for instance, Suicide Squad, which was the one part a lot of people point out is the Harley Quinn scene when Harley Quinn's grabbing, I think, Deadshot or something like that, his ass or something. He's just grabbing her. He's grabbing her. She's grabbing his ass, against his will, basically. And if that was reversed, there would be people. There would be this huge outcry, outrage. And I just feel like that was just scripted in. I don't know. I don't know.
So.
Yeah, I just don't get there's a lot of I don't understand why these people even hired to be consultants for games. For instance, you didn't have this problem with Baldur's Gate. I mean, fucking Baldur's Gate has gay relationships. They even have different types of relationships. They have it's very diverse game. I mean, obviously with fantasy creatures and other things like that.
Even with Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Nobody had a problem with that. Nobody had a problem with the actual storyline or who's who or whatever. It's people had an issue with all the bugs. They didn't care about the other.
Yeah, I feel like it's very lazy, and it's and it's also could be a very something I don't agree with. A multi-billion-dollar investing corporation that basically is manipulating a company to manipulate storylines for children that are going to be given to children. You know what I mean? I think that's a very bad precedence in the future, and it could result in a lot of problems. And right now, it might be people on the left who might be running these companies say, we're teaching them the great, all these great things. But what happens when you lose your power and then suddenly people on the right say, well, let's teach them about how the evils of immigrants or something like that. And they start pushing their propaganda about how you should stop immigration or some shit like that. It's an easy thing to corrupt. And that's why you shouldn't allow anyone to do it, because it's a very easy thing to corrupt.
No, I get it.
People have accused me you don't like it when there's people of color in your video game. You don't like when there's LGBT. I don't give a write it well. That's the problem. For me, it's about writing it well. If it's well written, I don't give a shit if you're short, tall, fat, skinny, gay, straight. Who gives a you got to write it well, and it's got to be historically at least remotely close to realistic for a person of color to be there, right? Probably don't need to be starting shoving a bunch of black people into colonial arms times races, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
I find that more insulting.
Yeah,
when you start to push it, because if it doesn't make sense, then clearly you're doing this.
I mean,
because you have an agenda.
It's also kind of disrespectful to the actual people that have to live through those times. You know what I mean? It's you're not really telling their story. You know, like African American, like let's say like I've seen like games that like literally have like African Americans like literally in like the Civil War, and they were like, oh well, we're fighting for these people. It's like no, they probably weren't like that. So like the Civil War, they were probably like for the South, they were like forced to fight for them, and you know, it's a pretty brutal situation that they were put through, and like they just
maybe
it is what
Chaos
it
B.
is. Hey, what's up, Casby?
Regardless.
Well, I think what annoys
black female with a robotic arm in World War One.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you remember that one with that
What?
trailer with the I think a video game. It was like literally World War One, and this African American female who had a robot arm, and it was supposed to be a realistic World War One video game.
Yeah, see, that's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
That's not realistic. The sentiment is there. Don't get me wrong. I see what they're doing, but don't make it stupid.
Yeah.
That's probably number that people were going to cling on to the last statement so much. They're trying to invalidate the entire argument by saying, well, there's never been a video game that was exclusively a lecture against why white people are bad. Yeah, of course not. Nobody would buy that video game. It's called hyperbole, you dumb.
Everybody that's behind it is a white bigot.
Yeah, but the point I found is,
yeah, I mean, like, so basically, Tipster took it, was looking really fucking bad right now. So, what's your thoughts on this stuff, man?
He did it to himself, and now you gave Boogie a platform, and you're putting money in his pocket, and I don't know, Tipster is just pretty sus. If he's agreeing with chomos out there and defending them, and I mean, I don't know why he still has a fan base, because that makes me question everything.
Let's look into Tipster a little bit more, since we kind of covered like a little bit of that. The beef. Let's look at this.
I know Turkey Tom did something.
Enemy
on
again.
him.
Let me see.
Back to 2016. One channel that has been circling around multiple communities he gets bullied out of, one of them being the commentary. And he's been doing exactly that for quite some time. If you go onto his channel, you can see some of his older videos date back to 2016. One of them almost being a prologue to this man's hornylations, being a video of him happily licking the cream off a beer while shooting more into his pants over the fact that Zoe Berger rated one of his streams.
Zoe Berger, look it.
We're about to hit it, guys.
Zoe Berger just rated me. I cannot believe this shit. Look at that.
You can't believe this.
Holy shit! Like,
oh my god! Congratulations!
Wow, that is sad. That is really fucking sad.
I'm unworthy.
Did he go on the floor and just start saying, "I'm unworthy"?
I have no idea.
Oh my god!
It's too much.
I'm unworthy. I'm unworthy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro, what the fuck? Like, do you have any self-respect, Tipster? Like, what the fuck was that? It's so
He's
sad.
a weird one.
So sad. Would you ever do that? If what's it
No.
like?
No.
I couldn't give a fuck about YouTube, man. I'd be like, oh, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Have a nice day.
Getting a shout out from Zoe Berger.
Too. Real quick, this is the thing too. YouTube isn't my job either. Does that make sense?
YouTube's a hobby. YouTube is just simply a hobby.
It's for fun. It's for fun. But to Tipster and also Boogie as well, this is their job. So I guess doing extreme stupid stuff, if it helps, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think I would sell my self-respect for fucking views on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, has the equivalent effect of reading your name at the end of somebody's suicide note. Her streams almost had the same effect of the damn ring tapes, except of dying after 7 days, you would just contract chlamydia. So my point being, he's been in the YouTube game for a long ass time, which is why I'm quite familiar with him. And if you watch anybody else in the commentary community, they are most likely as well. Perhaps some of them being the ex-colleagues of the guy himself that cut ties with them after not being able to handle his depraved behavior for any longer. However, I'm pretty confident in saying most of you watching have probably never heard of his existence or thought the term tipster was even a person, because for it, being an obese alcoholic named Tipster is already kind of setting yourself up for failure. The reason this man is probably a mystery to you is the result of the recent dramas or communities he's grifted on.
I was wrong to defend Vosh? ? You don't need a question mark there, sir. You were wrong in defending a man who wanted to lower the age of consent and also defends child pornography. I would honestly think that the man should be thrown in jail at that point, to be honest with you.
For the past few years, that ultimately caused his reputation and view count to plummet down to the bottom of the fucking ocean floor, to start slashing through the cheese and stain underwear and tipsters.
Wait a minute, what's this say?
Down to the bottom of the fucking ocean floor, to start
I don't give this to many people, but if you ever need to talk, don't hesitate to call or text me. I'm a busy guy, so I may not respond immediately, but I will respond.
slashing through the cheese and stain underwear.
Wow. Fucking simp fucking alert, bro. Like, what do you think of that?
You don't want to know.
That's like the same shit they do all the time. Like, this guy's like so fucking thirsty. He's like in the middle of the Sahara fucking desert right now. Holy fuck.
We're in Tipster's giant jizz jungle. I think
anything for a pink-haired hot goth mommy. Jesus Christ. Isn't this man married or dating?
it would be best to start with this
He is with someone. It's better to put.
goth mommy saga. This addiction is one that he can't control. His millimeter.
Man, stop eating. You might be able to, like, you know, no offense, but like, might need to lose some weight.
Defeater acts as a Bluetooth device that
Yeah, it looks good. Even hotter goth mommy. Ha ha ha.
Creepy.
has a connect to e-girl coochie, which the principle of itself is not that questionable as long as everybody is of age and just having a good time. There's not really too much to knock about that. Problem with Tipster is he takes it way too far, saying sexual and creepy shit towards the woman he talks to.
You're not an e-girl, you're an e-whore. You're my e... Oh my god.
Cringe. That is cringe.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Do completely out of the blue. You could be discussing your tax write-offs or the passing of a family member, and he would start to ask you if you need Tipster's tip to feel better. Just really cringy shit like that, where he really thinks he's cooking up something hot in the kitchen, but nobody's hungry. And you always add a lull to the end of every text to make it seem like it's all irony in what he said.
Oops, you liked my tweet. Guess we did it again, you dirty... Oh my fucking god, bro. What the fuck?
Says is all for jokes, not actually meaning anything he tells these poor women that have to check their DMs to see this guy at the top of it.
That's a bad photo. Is that a bad photo, Tony?
That's a horrible photo.
Imagine you woke up in the middle of the night and you saw that over your face.
Yeah, no, I would not be having a good time.
You'd be like, ah!
For example, another content creator announced on Twitter that she was lesbian, a very brave action, especially on Twitter for her to do, so it would be right to give her some flowers for doing so. Tipster, however, would throw the bouquet of flowers he had prepared for her right into the garbage, because instead of congratulating her or saying something supportive, he would instead respond with, "I just grew 3 inches from following Briz on Instagram." The signs behind supportive, he would instead respond with, I just grew 3
inches from following Briz on Instagram. Dead homies. Jesus Christ.
3 inches from following Briz on Instagram. The science behind it is true. Go check the description. But what he actually said was, why do all the hot
ones not like dick? Well, sir, you're probably the example of why that is.
ones not like dick? LOL. Hashtag feels bad, man. Really weird thing to announce under a tweet like this, but it would get a whole lot stranger once you realize the girl who posted that tweet was only 17.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He did it to himself.
Shit. He's tweeting to 17-year-old children. Oh my god.
I'm not as shocked. I'm not shocked.
Oh, Tipster, you're a fucking weirdo, bro. You're weird.
While Tipster being a married man that's around the corner from turning 40. Now, before you jump...
He's gonna be 30. He's 37 years old?
Oh, wow. And he's acting...
And he's
acting
tweeting
like a fool.
17-year-old children?
To any conclusions, I want to be clear that he isn't some sort of minor refiner or predator by any means, at least from what we know. Because Tipster would profusely apologize after making this tweet, making it known that he didn't know the girl's age prior to the post. Plus, there's absolutely zero evidence anywhere that proves the fact that he is, so don't take this video as some sort of predatory exposal, because that's not the case. He's just a loser.
Got a groomer. Just a loser.
For the average man that had a close call to a degree like this,
Remember that when we talked about that?
I
movie?
remember that.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that was the
That
worst
was a dark
apology.
day.
That was the worst apology I've ever seen.
I agree.
so you would think it would be kind of an open and shut book for Tipster to never explore again. Or he would have taken this as a valuable lesson to be careful of who you talk to online and maybe talk to your wife you have
Oh, that poor woman that has to deal with this fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
instead. But unfortunately, this encounter would be only a gateway of what was to come down the line, where he would defend and go out of his way to hit on girls that couldn't even give one luck of a fuck about him, continuing to circle himself around these virtual vampires, dedicating videos towards them about how he wanted to give these girls his dusty chewed eraser of a tip. Shout out to Tom Dark for the clips. Wait, would you look at that? I got a new reply from Tipster about my tweet on my cute puppy photos. Let's go see the wholesome thing he has to share. Oops.
Oops, you liked my tweet? Guess we did. Okay.
You liked my tweet. Guess we did it again, you dirty little whore. For context, this is some random Twitter hoe who's replying like this too because of a damn tweet like, your friend is kind of cute.
Nice. Looks great. Your friend count.
Hey, yo, she's 16. I was only joking. Can't actually see with their fingers in the way, but I guess I kind of set myself up for that one. Sorry, lol. And it's so sad to hear what happened to her. Nice of you to look after her. Okay, what was the lol for, though? Where the hell is the punchline? Are you trying to do stand-up comedy for Miracle Village? Who the hell is laughing at this shit besides convicted offenders? Because you went from seriously calling the 16-year-old hot to now calling her ugly once you found out about her age by saying you were joking? Wow, what a neat getter and side shitter. There was no reason to give out a whole-ass monologue about it. You could have just said sorry and kept it pushing. Anything for a pink-haired goth mommy. What can I say? I have a thing for goth chicks. I can already see him tipping his fedora off of that one. Just straight blowing bubbles on her strap-on. What the hell happened to shame? So here another OnlyFans model was announcing that they were naked again, like anybody could care or would even bat an eye, but Tipster the tit watcher had his eyes bulging wide open upon finding this, replying with and emojis that emulate some sort of stalker stare. Keep in mind.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Tipster. Jesus Christ. Like, do you think the internet was a bad idea?
Sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I feel like the internet was a bad idea. I feel like the internet should have like some sort of card. Like, you know how you have to have a library card, but this time you have to have like a card.
No, I've always said this. If a gun permit type of thing, you need a permit to be online. You have to follow an IQ test. You have to do drug test, mental background check, and if you get it all,
like you have a 40-year-old man, almost 40, who is perving out on every single woman that he sees on Twitter or X. He's defending lolicon porn in all matters of degeneracy. And this man is married. I don't know if he has kids. Hopefully, I'm not going to mention them. And he's doing this type of foolish stuff instead of looking within, maybe exercising, maybe focusing on his business, maybe having a family, maybe going out. But he's spending hours a day liking women who are naked on Twitter.
Creepy.
And sometimes mixing them up with 17-year-old girls or
Yeah.
16-year-olds. It's like, to the point of society, I wonder if the internet was a bad idea. Because I don't think this man would be like this if there was no internet. I think he would be a productive member of society, maybe working in a factory. I don't know, maybe a horse farm. Who knows?
This man was typing all this while he was live streaming, waiting for his wife to prepare him pizza rolls and tater tots for dinner downstairs. Whenever Amaranth was trending for quitting OnlyFans, Tipster would take it upon himself to be the rising rooster to wake everybody up to this world-breaking news by posting it within the first minute.
Bro, screenshot this 1 minute after it was posted. Like, I'm not going to say Amaranth is not a very good-looking young lady, but, like, should you really care, like, really about an e-girl? Like, realistically. Am I like...
Realistically, if you're with somebody, maybe stop flirting with e-girls online?
Yeah, and also Amaranth's only into like people who are multi-millionaires. Like, she like Sneeko tried to come on to her, and Sneeko I think probably is worth a mil probably, and she's like, "Oh, you're too poor," because Amaranth is only into people who have money, and it's like you're a guy who has maybe 40,000 subs on YouTube, married, overweight, and who's almost 40. Your chances of getting Amaranth is the same chance I would have of winning the lottery 15 times in a row while being hit by lightning each and every single time. Non-existent. I would probably have a better chance of that happening than you having a chance with her. And it's like these people are into like fantasy land, like they're in Delulu land. They're just dumb. And you wonder what the hell has gone on with society when people are wasting their motherfucking time doing this. It's like this guy could be productive, but he's defending complete fucking disgusting things and doing this. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, what the fuck's wrong with society?
Amaranth's video even came out, which is impressive to learn he can deliver news that fast, especially with only one hand. Some people in the past tried to make the argument on how he's doing what a commentary channel should do by reporting the news as soon as it breaks out, which I find incredibly stupid, owing to the fact that absolutely nobody on this earth could give one luck of a fuck about her leaving OnlyFans beside the shrivel simps that pay for her tier 3 subscriptions. He probably didn't even listen to a word she said before sharing to the internet and how his beautiful queen responded. The most prolific e-girl I believe Tipster has fallen stomach over cankles for is a woman that went by the name of AP over 9K. For context, she was in Tipster's little circle.
That's her?
That's her.
Of e-girls, but for some reason he saw her as some sort of goth mommy prophecy. They met and talked to each other for around, I believe, only a few months and ended up flirting with each other on the streams on a regular basis. One of those streams, AP was shithouse sloppy drunk and Tippy was making sure to get tipsy as well. The times were great until AP would slur out her words in a way you wouldn't imagine.
Drunken AP goes mask off and delivers the dreaded N-bomb on stream due to her Taco Bell order getting canceled on DoorDash. Based as hell, by the way.
I feel like that's like another terminally online thing. Like somebody's like says like to be nice, like, oh, my mom's hot. Like, I don't think that's fucking weird. Wait,
did you
what?
say that fucking N-word?
Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta.
This is not
Sorry.
weird at all.
Fellow YouTuber by the name of Bo Black sort of held the
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Jesus Christ, on a motorbike. What's your, I mean, like, Tony.
Hey, I've gotten angry at Uber Eats before, but I'm not using that kind of language.
Yeah, like I couldn't give two shits. Like, oh, they fucked up my order. Guess I'll refund it. I mean, like, okay. I probably don't use Uber. I've only used Uber Eats maybe, if I'm lucky, once a month. And it's usually like every time I use it, I regret it. I'm like, oh, I just paid $25 It's for subpar food that I could have cooked better at home.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I got a coffee and half of it spilled. Okay, great. It spilled all over my sandwich. Great.
See, I never understood using that for coffee and like little things. I guess I'm out of touch with reality.
No.
Court between everyone, but AP again was completely plastered and began schizo rambling for the better part of an hour, continuing to be a trifling troglodyte.
Let's get serious again, though. Let's get serious.
What's going on?
Let's get super serial, guys. Okay.
Are you good?
Are you drunk?
Tipster eventually ended up deleting the entire server they were in during her meltdown, cutting the conversation everybody was having off because he was embarrassing himself by bringing this girl onto their show. Allegedly, AP said she didn't realize the entire thing was being recorded in the first place, labeling Tipster to be at fault for all of this for not disclosing anything about.
How the fuck do you not tell anyone that you're live streaming the Discord messages and stuff like that?
I don't know. Isn't there laws?
Like some states
have laws, but isn't it customary if somebody jumps into a Discord group chat and you're like, hey, the first thing the person who's streaming usually says, hey, we're streaming. This is being recorded, just to let you know.
You kind of don't want the person to start saying the N-word or saying crazy shit. So
but even if she does say the N-word, why are you even friends with her?
Yeah. Well, we know why he's friends with her.
Wait,
I mean, we know the reason.
It's stupid.
What do you think of this look? Does this
He doesn't look anything like his avatar picture on his profile. Like
his avatar like looks skinny and he looks like a young 20-something-year-old guy. And this one,
and I have yet to see that. I have yet to see any of that.
And this guy's like some fucking almost 40-year-old man who's like, to be honest with you, if the aliens saw this person, they would immediately kill us all. They'd be like, okay, this is not the. We don't want this. We don't want this kind of creature spreading through the universe.
About this being public, essentially throwing him under the bus in order to get her footing in the commentary space, which she would admit later on one of her tweets, closing it all off that she was livid Tipster wouldn't defend her, so her response to that was to leak all of the private DMs the two shared, which furthermore just gave the perception of how alone and sad this guy makes himself be, despite having a wife shared, which furthermore just...
I'm against leaking DMs from people, to be completely honest with you.
It's tacky.
It's tacky as fuck, but like, realistically, it's something you learn very early on, that any messages you have with other people isn't, if you're like a YouTuber or any sort of social media person, is never motherfucking private. It's always going to eventually come out. And it's like, okay, so, and he should know better. He's not like this first thing. He says, bro, Twitter is on crack today. Keep sending me notifications from when you sent me Crips tweet. That would drive me nuts. And then they have like a screenshot there. Then it says, that combo with Mr. Pointless. It's all excuses for glitch and Triton. Waste of time. Also, because I'm a big YouTubers, I'm not allowed to have feelings or be upset about things. It's R. Well, I guess Laura's having issues with that word recently. Did you block Amber? This is just fucking weird, bro. What the fuck? I don't even know what this guy's talking about.
Just gave the perception of how alone and sad this guy makes himself be, despite having a wife knitting in the adjacent room. Notice the new profile picture. Not gonna lie, it looks hot and hot pink. Thanks, I love it. Even hotter, goth mommy. Why give a fuck about what people think about you? You be yourself and own it, because those of us who love and respect us do for who you are, I thought you looked great in that photo, to be honest. Goth mommy could get it. You are such a hot goth. I don't give this to many people, but if you ever need to talk, don't hesitate to call or text me. I'm a busy guy, so I may not respond immediately, but I will respond. Gotcha, thanks. Like, bro, just take the fucking hint. She shut down every one of your advances directly to your face, but you just kept standing right back up and charging forward. You put so much passion into women that show obvious signs of having little interest into your existence. It's like I'm watching that one scene out of Anchorman where Brick was trying to flirt with the receptionist. There's hardly any social skills besides you drooling out of both heads from her presence being before you. So both of these people in the situation are...
Like, is this guy like not thinking to himself, like, let's say the interaction changed and she was into him. She was like, oh, you're so hot with your triple chins and your fucking Dorito fingers. You're so hot. And let's say that happened. You're married. Are you going to cheat on your wife? I mean, and then what happens when she divorces your ass and now you have to deal with that. Like, you're destroying
now
your
you're
whole
Boogie 2.0.
I would even say Boogie. At least Boogie has a house.
I mean, true.
Are pretty bad. Tipster, you might show an ounce of compassion for, considering the fact AP used him like a fleshlight to get more eyes to her name, and on the count of himself apologizing to AP and anybody else he might have creeped out with his DM. But AP is absolutely indefensible, being caught on video skipping teaching her kids the ABCs by jumping right to the hard R once again, coaching him to call somebody that in order to get back his phone, which is two signs of a great mother, teaching her kids that sounds no more than 7 to say slurs, and then neglecting him by already giving him a phone to rot his brain out at such a young age.
Whoa. That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot. The girl who tried to Me Too Tipster baits her kids to say the N-word to look cool in Discord calls.
Tacky.
Whoa.
Everyone shut up. Say Smondile is a fucking nigger. Do it.
No.
Holy
Even
fuck.
the kid is like, no, you crazy.
Holy fuck. Sometimes I just wonder if there's like actual like horrible like wow. How could you?
She's bad mother. Let's be honest, bad
my
mother.
God. I'm just so discombobulated right now from that. I'm just completely.
Even the kid. Did you hear the kid?
Yeah,
the kid
the
was
kid's
like, no.
The kid has more sense than the one mother. The kid's 7. And she's live streaming this poor child. Oh my god. And this fucking, oh my god, Tipster, why do you defend these people? When you're going and you're calling Boogie a Nazi? Oh my god, Tipster. My god, this is bad. This is so fucking bad.
Only admits to using you, sharing your private DMs, and blaming you for actions she's done herself, you would be quick to think anybody in this situation with an ounce of self-respect would make sure to block this woman from everything you ever owned. I mean, if this was me, I would make sure this bitch couldn't even access my Google Cloud print. But Tipster can't handle the fact of losing his one and only goth queen, so not even a few months later, they would be seen together on podcasts, treating their drama like it was nothing but a simple misunderstanding, defending her as his dear friend once again. Tipster, after this, later got accused of allegedly trying to hit on Paige the Panda, who was a victim of Line Maker. That resulted
Lion Maker. I haven't heard from this motherfucker in a while.
If you don't know, like, oh my god.
He was caught talking to underage kids in a sexual manner, and he did a friendly YouTube cover. It was more of a cover with like Minecraft and shit.
Oh god. How would you why
And people
would you,
kicked him off, too.
And Paige the Panda, what was she, like 13 when this piece of shit was going on her?
I think so.
So he's hitting on oh my god, Tipster.
In his entire career ending. If you watched Drama Alert at all back in the day, you would definitely know who this guy is. Bro, what the fuck? This was 8 years ago? In short, Paige didn't want any contact with the internet after the whole entire situation, but Tipster was destined to talk to her. Having Doelle, some ordinary gamer's girlfriend, claimed Tipster went out of his way to add Paige on Facebook to try to spit some game to her on there. Tipster would keep denying having any weird intentions with Paige and simply state he was reaching out to her in a friendly way.
Didn't you friend request Paige the Panda? Didn't you go and look for Paige the Panda on Facebook and friend request her?
Yeah, I was
Maker girl.
Yeah, I was in communication with her because we were discussing her GoFundMe.
Communication with you, and you went and frickin' friend requested her on Facebook. You went to go look for her on Facebook.
That's not true. That's not true. When I friended her on Facebook,
I have the screenshot.
I'm not saying I didn't friend her.
But I just really don't see the
I have the screenshot.
What year was this?
I don't know.
Holy fuck, he was friend requesting a child who was fucking being groomed from some piece of shit like that. Oh my god.
I'm not saying I didn't friend.
But I just really don't see the fucking point. She made it evidently clear that she wanted her privacy after being dragged into the spotlight for being groomed. The case was completely closed, with all evidence already being a part of 50 YouTube documentaries from years ago. I know you're a drama channel, so if your objective was to directly reach out to the victim for some sort of video insight, despite her pleading for people to leave her the fuck alone, you're pretty shady. If it was to hit on her right after she got taken advantage of by another balding creep, then that's pretty fucking gross. If it's for a friendly approach like you claim, you're still disrespecting her wishes. I just don't understand the thought process for even trying to message her in the first place. So he defends and befriends deranged e-girls that see him as nothing but a lolcow. It's a bit questionable. However, what I find way more questionable is what Tipster chooses to defend on his streams. One of the main topics that always ends with himself being horrendously clowned on for is his continuation over time of defending lollipops. I'm going to be calling it that for monetization's sake, because I don't really know if this platform's going to mess with that word. Recently, the creator known as Vosh leaked one of his folders during a live stream that contained images of horses f***ing a cartoon child, almost undergoing.
Yes. And this man still has a YouTube channel. This Vosh guy still has a YouTube channel. I don't know why. I don't know what it takes. But I think that would be like, at that point, if that was like found, the FBI should immediately come to your house at that point.
Oh yeah, agree.
But anyway, I don't think we need to watch anymore because we realize this guy's a piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Holy fuck. Levels of... What's your thoughts on this shit, man?
I agree completely with Boogie. As a trans person who is not liberal but democratic, and that does think that there is a problem out there in the real world that we do need to solve and just live like, yeah, in a perfect world, equality and all this other stuff. Just don't fuck with my games. There's no reason to go back and rewrite things or add things. But if you want to make future games and the protagonist is a female who's a lesbian or a trans person, go for it. Completely go for it. But don't press any political agendas. No, let kids be kids. And if you're a parent out there, just get them a Nintendo Switch. That's it. You don't have to worry about any of this. There's no political parties in Mario World.
Yeah. It's a pretty wild situation. I think Tipster is a disgusting garbage human being that defends other garbage human beings and only went after Boogie because delusions. I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't know how you can call out Boogie, but you don't call out the guy who has literal lolly porn on his fucking computer and all manner of fucked up things. And her, you know what I mean? But the guy's a garbage human being. I think Boogie pretty much destroyed him, made him look like a fool, completely decimated him. And you know what? Even Boogie challenged him to a fist fight, and he didn't accept. So I think he's a little bitch as well. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna have a regular schedule for this, and we're gonna do that. I had some personal things I had to take care of, you know, ever since the 28th, and I'm back at it again. I'm good now, so we'll be getting on to regular schedule, guys. Anyway, Tony.
Yeah, there's more to come. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for rewatching. Hey, Pecan.
What's up, Pecan? We're gonna probably do the. I think you want to do the Nickelodeon thing, right?
Yeah. There's so just to let everybody know, there's a documentary on HBO Max, and I think it's called Quiet on Set, and it's about like the kids who got affected during the Dan Schneider Gate thing, like Amanda Bynes and stuff like that. Like these kids that were affected that are now adults, and I think it would be good just to talk because Dan Schneider is just disgusting, horrible.
I don't know why that guy doesn't get the death sentence, but that's just me.
And
Anyway,
he's still free. And there's no charges on him either. It's weird. But we'll talk about that next time. But if you guys want to brush up on it, it's on HBO Max, Quiet on Set. And yeah, y'all keep safe out there.
See you around, guys. Have a good one. Bye.